Hey everybody. Yesterday I ran into a question that I've been bugging to ask every single person on YouTube. What if what are the chances of Fortnite for Apple TV? Ooh, this would be a hard one. Since the Apple TV 4th generation was released in 2015 and the 4K was released recently in 2017 with the iOS 11 release, and actually came with the TV OS 11 bundle, and also came with Mac OS 10.13 series, and then Watch OS 4. Um, what are the chances they put it only for Apple TV 4K? Any Apple TV user that's an Apple TV 4th generation user might not be able to play it unless it's for the 4K. Actually, they don't even have it yet, but I'm just thinking, what are the chances they have Fortnite for Apple TV? And I'm not a huge fan of Fortnite, but I'll kind of get into it after Epic Games has put it for Apple TV and makes it exclusive. But until then, I'm not playing it because I think Epic Games should make it for Apple TV. It's not as bad, but the chances are you'd have to AirPlay do it screen mirroring from your iOS device, which is your iPhone 6 and later. And it's a very big of a pain because what if your iOS device is sort of dead and you have to charge it? Well, you want to be able to use it, your play Fortnite for Apple TV, or stream or play Fortnite on Apple TV without having to use your iPhone charging. What are the chances, though? The chances are you're going to have to use SteelSeries Nimbus wireless game controller. Obviously, the Siri remote is too little to support all those strange commands that you have to do. Obviously, in the remote, the SteelSeries Nimbus game controller, and the HoriPad Ultimate game controllers, those two third-party controllers that are compatible with Apple TV, have all the buttons that PS4 and Xbox One have on their remote. Um, the only difference is they're charging and you cannot play online. So if you're gonna play online, Fortnite uses Game Center to play with others. On PS4, if you're a PS4 user, it uses your online ID and your friends that you've added on PlayStation 4 or random people that you probably don't know. On Xbox, it uses, I believe, Xbox Live. PC, it uses, I think, the Xbox Live feature. And then on Mac, it also uses Game Center. So you're going to be bundled up with iCloud, iTunes and App Store, iBooks, Game Center, FaceTime, iMessage, and everything that comes on iOS will all be on a Mac. Every little bit of it. So I see that they haven't made Fortnite for Apple TV yet, but until they do, and also kids really shouldn't be playing Fortnite anyways these days. So why bother doing it? It should be set to 12 plus on the Apple TV, but leave it the way it is on the iOS. Because I didn't look too in depth about it last night when I saw it. I searched it up. Unfortunately, it's compatible with iPad Mini 4, and I have iPad Mini 3. Not compatible with what I have. It's not compatible with any of the iPad Minis but the last and latest iPad Mini, which is the Mini 4. And it's not compatible with iPhone 5S, although it takes up a little bit of space. Although you can download it on these devices, but it's not going to be supported. I don't think it's supported on the iPad Air series of devices. The Mini 4 is really the only device in the iPad line that supports Fortnite iOS edition, which is actually going to be Apple TV edition until waiting till they release Fortnite for Apple TV. So, and everything will change. Actually, I don't know what will change and what won't, because I want this to look the same, have the exact same UI as the one for Xbox One. I don't own or have an Xbox One, but I know somebody who has one and has Fortnite on it that plays it. So I have a PlayStation 4 in my home, but it's my brother's, not mine. So I was just fixing some stuff about it, so that Fortnite is working perfectly fine, and then it'll be running the Apple TV version when it's released. So not too long, and if you're gonna get an Apple TV, I advise you to wait until Fortnite Apple TV is released, because I really hope Epic Games makes a Fortnite for Apple TV, and it'd be very sleet. I believe they recently made a Fortnite for Android, but I don't use an Android device. So why should I get into their business if I'm not an Android user or a Samsung user? So I'm not going to get into that. But I believe they did that. They released Fortnite Android Edition for phones and tablets. And I also wanted to be released for Google tablets, Google certified tablets. My brother has a Braille no touch and at home, which we unboxed using his channel. That eventually got to be his video unboxing of the Braille no touch, but this one did not come with the Braille keyboard. Obviously, it's called the Braille no touch because it uses the touch Braille keyboard. If you enable the back talk feature and accessibility settings, which in Google you're not going to see it being called voiceover. It's called back talk. So might as well, if you're going to do that, get a Braille display and connect it to the USB port that the tablet has, and then Braille no touch will be running the way it should. Actually, my brother's is running the way it should, but it does not require a Braille display with a USB cable hooked up to it. So why even bother doing that? I don't think so. But Fortnite Apple TV should be coming out any day or so. So I would love for Epic Games to get in contact with me. I'll link you my email address in the description. And anybody can email me about Fortnite Apple TV, and I'll be able to answer any emails that I get from anybody. Tell me if you guys think it's a good idea. If it's a good idea for Epic Games to make a nice, sleek version of Fortnite for Apple TV, and acting the same way as Fortnite Xbox One does. Not going to be a lot different, because you're going to be using the Xbox One relationship controller, the SteelSeries Nimbus. It should support the Nimbus and the HoriPad Ultimate. I believe, to what I've seen, it's a 2-player game. I don't know if it's over the top. I think it could be a 4-player game. So I'm not too sure. But I've seen up to 2 players play it. Fortnite, I've seen that on the 2-player. Now, I don't know if it should cost money, because none of the other Fortnite games cost money. And then just make it so that it's like the Battle Royale that you get with the PS4 and the Xbox One and PC and Mac and iOS, all on Apple TV. Yes, Fortnite Apple TV is coming. Eventually Apple will communicate with Epic Games, because I think it's a good idea for Fortnite to be on Apple TV. Not necessarily trying to remove it from any of the other devices that it exists for, but to hear that it's very addicting, put it on Apple TV, so kind of can make things more easy to play. Like, you use all the controls the same way. Everything. I think it would be everything the same. Nothing would change. All you have to do is make sure your remote is turned on, charged, and ready to play Fortnite for the Apple TV. That's it. Out of a tap, there you go. And you also want to make sure you pair the remote with the Apple TV that you're going to use. Eventually, it's not going to tell you scanning for remotes. You should know by now that Fortnite Apple TV only supports the SteelSeries Nimbus wireless game controller and the HoriPet Ultimate wireless game controller for Apple TV. It's not out yet, but who knows? I believe you'll have to send an email out to Epic Games if you. I want emails, and I'm going to be seeing who thinks. I'm going to be answering your email if I think it's right. I personally think it's right that Epic Games sets up a Fortnite for Apple TV, because that would really help if you're an Apple TV user now and you've always wanted Fortnite, but you don't have a PS4 or Xbox One or even a PC, but you do have a Mac or an iOS device. Not easy. And I don't know what you need to have in order to play Fortnite on a Mac. I think you have to have Mac OS 10.13 and later. And I believe if you're an iOS user, you have to have iOS 11. Otherwise, Fortnite is not compatible. Yes, Fortnite was released recently for iOS. And I'm hearing it's very addicting, but if you Apple TV users really think it's a good idea to put Fortnite on there without having to stream from an iOS device, I think, you're smart. Comment, I'm smart, if you think Fortnite should be on Apple TV. I want everybody to comment, I'm smart. If you, or whoever comments, I'm smart, I'll think that you want Fortnite on Apple TV. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.